Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 years in service at the time of this timeless reading, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There is a link in the description box. You can preview the first bunch of pages for free, including the dedication to my mom, who I am visiting right now, my mom and my stepfather up in Saratoga, from their screenhouse, their greenhouse, their gazebo, call it what you will. It's really lovely. The lighting is delightful. Lovely afternoon here in Saratoga, New York, buying a house, we hope. That's why I came up here, looked at a house today, and took some video of it. And you know who got to see it? Who no one else will but them? My subscribers on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle, a lovely platform, subscription service for artists and creators of all different kinds. Loving it over there. Best career move I ever made for surezies. Last November at the time of this timeless recording, I got humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses as my subscription levels over there. I stream there every morning with an unlisted YouTube link. You can come and chat with me. We talk about the day's astrological weather, the magical implications, the spiritual applications, and vice versa. A cup of coffee, bathrobe, my hair doing what it's going to do, and I love it so very much. They get the exclusive content no one else will see, like the video of the house that I want to buy, as well as the advanced stuff that that everyone else will see eventually. Lots and lots of benefits over there. So if you want to support me in my work, career, vocation as a mystic, teacher, artist, healer, corporate president, whatever, come Patreon on Patreon. Having a lot of fun over there. I think you'll dig it. And if you are an artistic, creative type, highly recommend it. So if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But, you know, it's so much simpler. Just call me Mal. Hey. Really enjoying doing this out here. Nothing like a change of scene. Everyone could use a change of scene according to the musical Pippin. So, musical theater background, don't be shocked if you're new to the channel. However, a work, career, vocation read is actually called the 3-level of power read. There is a link in the description box by Myss, a video here on YouTube, a lecture that she did many, many years ago, looking at these 3 archetypal lenses that you can look at many different areas of life at. In this case, we're looking at life purpose through your work in the world, your career, and your vocation, which are really one thing looked at through these 3 different lenses. I'll explain it as I go. There are chakras involved, and bringing it all into alignment is about you living a more fulfilling life. So, it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because one of your signs could be more about work, the other career, the other about vocation, bringing you into alignment to fulfill what you came in to do in this life. Your own sacred contracts, which is a book by Myss, MYSS. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards that we're going to have our first 3 cards down. And I've been doing these readings with clients for decades, and they're really helpful for me as well to do for myself, because particularly if you are self-employed, as am I for as long as I have been, it's nice to have a divinatory glimpse, right? A little clue, tip, and hint along the way. So, it is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and I will do the best that I can to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace to help you fulfill what you came into this life to do, and as a result, move all of humanity forward. From lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, however you want to see that alchemical blend there, and make this world a better place. Cool, cool. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will give it my all, because I am surrounded by a beautiful garden here. The chi, the prana is just at 100% maximum right now. So let's get down to this. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, and the air is just somehow sweeter here. Still point. And here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, please, pantheons of the divine, I need 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards, 1 for their work, 1 for their career, 1 for their vocation, the 8th chakra dynamic hovering over their head, the soul power that they are contracted to alchemize from shadow to light, pain to peace, lead to gold, toxic to healthy, in their life purpose in this timeless reading. So let's start. We're going to lay them down, 1, 2, 3. We're going to read them 3, 2, 1. Face down. What's the dominant 8th chakra archetype for their work, affecting what they attract, what they repel in their first level of power? Physical world, literal world, lower 3 chakra dominant masculine energy, their survival intuition. For their second level of power, their career, their creative intuition, their feminine energy, the internal world, their passion, their hunger, their thirst to create, 8th chakra dominant archetype there. And for their vocation, their spiritual calling, their mystical spiritual power, third level of power, symbolic level of power, their visionary intuition, calling them forward to fulfill their life contracts that lead a more fulfilling life in this timeless work, career, vocation reading. So as I just said, we lay them down 1, 2, 3, but we read them 3, 2, 1. Let's look. You have got the storyteller in your vocation. It is a creative family archetype. In your career, you have got the teacher, which is a wisdom family archetype. And in your work, you have got the Samaritan, divine family archetype. So this makes you the storyteller, teacher, Samaritan. Let's break it down. In your vocation, now this is hovering over your head in the 8th chakra, sending down the codes to all of the other chakras, shifting what you attract and what you repel, so that you can alchemize develop this soul power, and it can be delayed but not prevented. So you could do it today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now, 10 lives from now. Eventually your soul will develop these. The shadow attribute indicates the work needed, right? What you don't want to look at, or if you have looked at it, you don't want anybody else to know about it. Lead to gold, and 3 more atoms in lead than gold. And our last card down will be the Whispers of Lord Ganesh, by the way, which will help remove those 3 atoms, doing the alchemy for you. The shadow attribute of the storyteller is wicked, toxic, man. Making up tales that harm others, including yourself. Now, narcissists do that automatically. They can't even help it, right? So think of that. Making up tales that harm yourself or others, right? It's essentially lying. It's telling a story. It's a falsehood. But what you're shooting for is the light attribute, an ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, which is exactly what I'm doing right now in a divinatory process. The storyteller, of course, bringing that storyteller into your career with the teacher archetype. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I have the teacher lifetime in my career. I am a spiritual teacher. I'm a teacher no matter where you put me. I end up teaching. The shadow attribute is very Pink Floyd The Wall. Manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. The light attribute is gorgeous. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. That is just lovely. The Samaritan, however, in your work is biblical. It is scriptural. It's someone from Samara. If you've ever heard of the Good Samaritan, like who hasn't? It's a hospital on Long Island called Good Samaritan Hospital. The shadow attribute exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So it's not so freely given. And it's one thing to ask for appreciation and recognition, but to exact it is not fun for anyone. The light attribute refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Now, of course, people will associate that if you're ever in New York City or San Francisco or anywhere where there's a homeless population. They're everywhere, honestly, but that I've seen a lot in both. And you just ignore them, just ignore them, just ignore them. The Samaritan is like, here, good luck, bless you, right? And certainly, you know, you might have an appointment tomorrow. I hope you don't anytime soon. But certainly ancient, that idea. So this feels very service-oriented. One of these 3 levels of power has a leverage point of one of the 3. So that's why check your other signs. We'll see where your leverage is here. Apparently the wildlife agrees. Just had baby chipmunks running around before. Adorable. So we've got those laid out. Let's look at the next 4 chakras down. The feminine energy, by the way, these 3 are very, the 8th chakra are very vocation dominant. Heart, third eye, crown is very career dominant. And then we'll get the mythic tarot for the lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus, which are very work dominant. We'll see how they blend. Ready? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Indeed. As I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Aquarius, powers of the East, please, 3 cards in clarity. Work, career, vocation for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, I have to say, doing this directly out in nature with some screenings so I don't get bitten by bugs, it's very, very hopeful. So please, we'll lay them down 1, 2, 3. We'll read them 3, 2, 1 for the Aquarians in their work, career, vocation. In their work, they've got the Samaritan archetype, but you know, there are even people at work that you'd rather ignore, right? Just rather not deal with, right? You want to exact from them the recognition that you've got if you're not getting it. I understand it. So what's going on behind their eyes? Heart, third eye, crown dynamic, their internal world, their feminine energy in their work. We'll look at that one. Last of the 3, is that just 1 card? Yes, it is, I think. Yeah. For their career, 2nd level of power, their passion, their hunger, their thirst. This is heart, third eye, crown, dynamic, dominant in their career, their creative intuition, what they're creating on the inside that'll maybe make it into physical form. And in their vocation, the storyteller, right? Their spiritual calling, what calls them forward, what inspires them. And certainly archetypal Jungian dynamics would help with that, to help us and help the Aquarians see that a little clearly, particularly if they can identify, what story am I in? And sometimes as soon as we ask the question, the clues start presenting themselves. So to see it from that higher height of vocation, we'll start this level with this card. What's going on, heart, third eye, crown in the vocation for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading in this timeless work, career, vocation read. The Strength card. When it's a major arcana card in this type of reading, it's all 4 chakras. If it was the mythic tarot, lower 3 chakras, it would be all those 3, root, sacrum, solar plexus. But here we have the Strength card. We're very familiar with the Strength card, even though it is very much about courage, which is cœur is also a French word for the heart, right? The ability to find the emotional, spiritual strength to persevere. So I'm just going to say to you, me being a Leo rising, Leo your opposite sign, it takes a lot to acknowledge the courage that's already there, as well as to summon the courage. And like I said, though this can be very heart chakra dominant, it really does take alignment with the spiritual power, the mental power, in order to make the wise choices, to make the courageous move here. but that certainly has to do with the stories that you hear and tell, like how people will shoot their creativity in the foot because of what's going on in the economy instead of trusting the visionary intuition fulfilling their contracts. They will use reason to do that, right? Which is understandable. We need to be reasonable, particularly air signs. Like an Aquarius, fixed air, and it is your opposite sign, so the Leo card usually. So to find that strength of your own interior world and to bolster that and share your story might be part of your vocation. Let's look what you got with the teacher in your career. Under that you have the ace, the one of flames, creation. Now to have the creation card, that spark that, you know, you could snuff out or build, that is very throat chakra, willpower, choices, and decisions. So you have a choice here about your ability to communicate your knowledge, your skill, or wisdom that you have gathered, and certainly so many teachers do that through stories. That's part of the shamanic tradition. I mean, even Jesus in the parables, right? The lilies of the field, they do not toil nor do they spin. Could you imagine spinning lilies? Good name for a band or a drag queen. So that teacher, do you ever have one of those inspiring teachers that just like hit that pilot light inside of you? This can be very inspirational, very, very creative, and like I said, second level of power, your creative intuition. And you know, you don't have to stand up in front of a classroom to be a teacher. I'm a spiritual teacher. I do it in conversations with people I don't even realize I'm doing it, right? I am such a teacher. Like I said, you could drop me down at like McDonald's, I'd be a trainer within a week, right? And my mom's a teacher, right? So that has certainly been passed down. But to do that perhaps in something new, in a new venture, or at least a new inspiration of creativity that has hit you that you might be chewing on. The throat chakra has 3 speeds. Spit it out, swallow it, or chew on it for a while. This feels like a chew. Chew, 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 chew. But we'll see. This is where it hits the Earth's electromagnetic field in the world of work. You've got the Samaritan. Maybe there are some people you would want to deal with, you'd rather ignore. And on the inner, you have got the 4 of Pentacles. Security. Now, that can be your own stability inside of yourself. When it is a Pentacle, an Earth card on the inner, it's usually about the wisdom you gain from experience in the world, which would make sense for a teacher to share their inspirations with that through stories of courage, maybe even their own. Although, another element I'm getting here, and it may not be for everybody, is if that Samaritan would really rather ignore people, right? Would rather get the recognition than kind of do the work. This can very much be about closing the heart, or at least protecting it. Now, I know a lot of teachers, literal schoolroom teachers, who after the past couple of years have been a little dissatisfied with their work in the world. A lot of teachers are leaving the public schools, etc., and going into different areas of work. I know one teacher who quit their job as a teacher and is tending bar and making a hell of a lot more money. So there might be that thing of, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not getting what I need, which is different than exacting recognition, right? So know that there is a stability inside of you. 4s are numbers of rest and stability. So I don't know that you need to bust a move right away in your work in the world with the Samaritan, but certainly think about those that you would prefer to ignore, right? Because it does say here, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, particularly if those are administrators. And remember, teachers come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and forms in this world, so it's not all about schoolroom necessarily. I like it. A storyteller, teacher, Samaritan. Huh? Sounds very Aquarian. So let's look at those lower 3 chakras. This reading's humming along, and I haven't drank coffee, but my mom's got all this like vitamin water and stuff. What's this? She's got, this is not product placement, I'm not getting paid for this. Frost, sparkling frost, pineapple coconut. loaded with antioxidants, and apparently keeping my third eye wide open. I would love to start a band called Third Eye Roll. Ready? Lower 3 chakras from the outside, looking in at yourself, maybe from the inside, looking out at another person, place, or thing. The masculine energy, the yang dynamic, the external physical world here. Lower 3 chakras are about relationships in the world. Root chakra, groups, tribes. The classroom, right, is tribal, right, unless you're just teaching one person. Then that would be second chakra, one relationship. But also root chakra is your nationality, your political leaning. 3 or more together, when there are 3 or more gathered, it's a tribe. Second chakra, your relationship to another person or thing, money, sex, and power. So this is where we look at the financial aspect of it often. And your relationship to yourself in the world. Your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries, your self-esteem as a verb, your self-image. Let's see what hits the table. Again, we'll lay them down 3, 2, 1. We'll read them. Lay them down 1, 2, 3. Read them 3, 2, 1, and the energy is really high. If you've seen some of the shorts and shorter videos I put here on video, I often make some of this particularly magnificent garden I'm working in today. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Aquarius, powers of the East, please 3 cards in clarity for the Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading. Lower 3 chakra dynamic, inside out, outside in, relationships in the world. In their work, they've got the Samaritan in the 8th. We'll do these face down. 4 of Pentacles, security on the inner, which is also about, by the way, somebody going to the well, right, to bring back the water, the nutrients, the necessities back to the tribe, the family, the village. The well that does not run dry, but you still need to get it from one place to the other. So please, what's going on, lower 3 chakras for the Samaritan? 4 cups on the inner, that's on the outer. The teacher, which feels very dominant. This could very much be their leverage. The teacher with that 1 of flames, the Ace of Wands on the inner, that creativity. This could be a new career move, or at least something new brought to their career. What's going on, lower 3 chakras there. And in their vocation, the Storyteller in the 8th, with the only major arcana card on the table so far, the Strength card, that courage. And it's not about physical strength, it is about that internal strength, that soul strength, that eternal strength within them that we all need to tap into in times of change. And the story that they tell themselves about what's going on in terms of their overall life purpose, right? Their vocation, their spiritual calling is going to affect whether that heart stays open or not. So what's that card? Lower 3 chakra, inside out, outside in, relationships in the world. You got the Wheel of Fortune, the fates. 1 spins, 1 measures, 1 cuts. This is a card of divine timing. So I'm going to say the wheel is moving, whether you like it or not, right? We cannot change fate, but we can alchemize fate into destiny. So if it is time for you to really summon up your courage, then I would certainly think the stories that you tell yourself and others, the more they are of a more golden, inspiring, healthy, but also authentic, right? Even if you're telling a hard luck story, if it's authentic, if you're really saying, look, this is what I've been through, and I'm summoning up the courage to do this because it's time. Because we can either suffer our fate or manifest our destiny, but that is our choice to do so. But certainly that do take strength and courage. It's all about the stories you're telling yourself. right? And I go through that on the regular. There are times where I'm like, well, you know, maybe I should just chuck it all in and, I don't know, get rid of Patreon and do OnlyFans. Except my parents are still alive, and I really don't want a career in taking my clothes off that way. I never have. Hopefully I never will, but, you know, except maybe someone special, but I didn't get paid for that. That's not my gig this time around on planet Earth. But certainly, the fates of everyone has changed on the planet over the past couple of years, if you've noticed, right? People who were doing one thing are now doing DoorDash, right? We're all trying to find our way through this really fast-changing world. But another thing about the Wheel of Fortune for me that I've seen over the past year or so is that you haven't done anything wrong. The script changed, and it was going to change whether we wanted it to or not. It's just, how do we deal with it? I mean, do you want a video game where it's just every level is the exact same challenge? No, you always want to upgrade. So we're always getting stronger, but you can, again, either suffer your fate or manifest your destiny, and no one can make that decision, one consistently made, but you. So, in your career, the teacher, again, not always about kids in a schoolroom, in a playground assigning homework. And on the inner is this new inspiration, this new creativity, this spark of creation, literally the word written on the card, with the King of Wands, the Aries card. Now, if a court card, lower 3 chakras, can be another person. It can be somebody with Aries placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, maybe Uranus is involved. We try and keep Uranus out of this as much as possible, particularly because it's about to go retrograde at the time of this recording or something close to. I hear they have a cream for Uranus's retrograde now. But maybe this is you taking up what? That Ace of Wands, right? And using it to teach, to plow ahead. First sign of the zodiac, very solar plexus, in terms of your own honor code, your ethics, who you want to be in this world, putting your creativity out into the world. Or maybe there is a teacher in the outside world to what? Inspire and motivate you, right? Inspiration is the carrot, motivation is the stick. We often need both, right? So there is something lit here. There is something very fiery, heart, third eye, crown, lower 3 chakras, but do understand that ability to communicate what you have been through is really essential to your creative process, even if that's writing a book, right? You can teach and write all sorts of different ways, but that inspiration, that throat chakra, the choice is yours, even if there is somebody outside kind of pushing you along. And teachers need teachers, right? I've never said that I am the best at anything, except I am the best Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Everything else is work in progress. So this could be some inspiration to really cardinal fire, create something new in this world. And, you know, Course in Miracles, I'm a student and a teacher of Course in Miracles. I am an eclectic witch. I will find truth wherever I find it and work it and career it and vocation it. Well, the truth is this can be delayed or not, delayed but not prevented. We all teach by example, but what's the curriculum? Where are you on that lead to gold scale? Are you teaching love, fear, toxic, healthy, pain, peace? You get what I'm saying? This feels like a really new beginning. I really think this is your leverage. At least get that clear, and then these other ones, because there's nothing you can do about what's going on with the Wheel of Fortune. That's just scripted, written into the code of the world right now, the quantum hologram called life on planet Earth. So let's see how this hits the ground. Now I will say, before we look at that card, like I said, this is all 4, heart, third eye, crown, so this is all 3. Root, sacrum, solar plexus. Wow. In your work, yep, the Samaritan, like I said, keep an eye on who you'd prefer to ignore. They probably have great opportunities there for you, should you not do that. Try and keep your heart open, find that internal wisdom, that sense of safety and security. I'm secure within myself, I know what I know. It's a 4. You know, I may have to go through the 5 to get the equal exchange of the 6 of Pentacles on the inner. but you got the Judgment card. Hermes, the psychopomp, the guide of souls down in the underworld, very similar to what we see in Rider-Waite Tarot with souls arising from the dead. Hermes is one of the few gods that could go back and forth between the upper, middle, and underworld, because that was his gig, that was his job. And of course, the Judgment is about revelation. It's about a final judgment as a result of something being revealed. And if it's lower 3 chakras all at once, this could be something very easily revealed in your outside world. Perhaps something that you didn't know about before, that, you know, you were holding your own, perhaps guarding your heart with a safe emotional boundary here. But, you know, you're going to have to really take a look at, you know, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Well, maybe something is revealed that explains why that has been going on, why you may not have been getting what you want, while at the same time it's helping you refer your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, particularly if you're having to rely upon your own security in this world. Sometimes it's hard to trust until we see, oh, that was hidden from me before, now I know. Like taking things personally. Don Miguel Ruiz, white courtesy telephone please, right? Until you learn not to take things personally, what? The stories that you tell yourself can rule you. So perhaps there is some truth revealed here. Yes, it is also a card of reconciliation, right? Resurrection, which is all a revelation that happens in divine timing. And getting ready for that is a creative journey. I like this. A storyteller, teacher, Samaritan, but something is going to be revealed to you in the physical world, or you are revealing something into the physical world, but I feel like it's the former, not the latter. Alright, next 3 cards down. We're only doing 13 cards. We already got 9 down. These are the next 3. The Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. To help you align the chakras, balance these, and heal these 3 levels of power. It is the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, not the Matt Kahn Let's Make Some Money deck. Although I'm sure he could pull that off. He's quite an amazing storyteller, teacher, and Samaritan, actually, Matt Kahn, come think of it. Let's see what hits the wicker garden table. Please take a nice deep breath. So digging it out here. You'll probably feel the difference in my energy. Still point. Well, I am on a mountain. As I call to the ascended masters of life purpose through the archetypal lenses of work, career, and vocation, please, my beloveds, 3 cards in clarity for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading on this lovely, lovely evening. We'll lay them down 1, 2, 3. We'll read them 3, 2, 1. The perfect healing mantras to help them heal, balance, and align the chakras in their work, career, vocation, bringing them all into an integral movement forward. So without looking at these, I'm going to do my best. It's different out here than at home. They've got the Samaritan in their work. 4 of Pentacles on the inner, the Judgment card, Hermes, the Guide of Souls, the Psychopomp, lower 3 chakras. What's their perfect healing mantra? For their work. For their career, they've got the Teacher, Ace of Flames, 1 of Flames, the Ace of Wands, with the King of Wands holding the Ace of Wands in their career. Feels very initiatory. This really feels like they're like that's where their leverage is, starting something new. Maybe no one needs to know about it just yet. So what's the mantra to balance and heal that? 2nd level of power, and in their 3rd level of power, their vocation, they've got the Storyteller with the Strength card and the Wheel of Fortune, which is Major Arcana, inner and outer. Their spiritual power, mystical power, higher power, whatever they want to call it, is definitely part of this, but it's kind of what they do with it, with that throat chakra of the Ace of Flames there. Maybe teaching by example and starting something new. What's the perfect healing mantra to bring all that into alignment in this timeless work, career, vocation? Got the Storyteller, right? Strength on the inner, will, fortune on the outer. Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. We're just going to go through them, and then we'll play with them a bit. In your career, the Teacher, Ace of Wands on the inner, King of Wands on the outer. Celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. So it's just one torch, right? It's just one of flames that you are bringing out to the world, not an entire barrage of fire in there. Celebrating simplicity. And in your work, you've got the Samaritan, Four of Pentacles on the inner, big ass revelation, Judgment card on the outer, asking for angelic help. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. So there is that feeling on the inside of the stability and security, but let's go a little bit deeper on this. If you read the titles, the names of the mantras here, it gives you one way of interpreting it, but then when you reverse it and you reveal the mantras in the other direction, it gives you a bit more clarity. So in your work, you're asking for angelic support, and it feels like you're going to get it. You got to be open and authentic about how you feel. We'll get there. In your career, you're celebrating simplicity, and your career might be different from your work, because it can be. It certainly can be. A lot of artists, just as an example, they are career artists, but they work jobs during the day in order to survive, right? And in your vocation, you are expressing free will. But now reverse that. In your vocation, your choices determine how brightly you shine. In your career, you are more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. And this is about fulfilling contracts and all of that. And in your work, your angels respond when you are open and authentic about how you feel. Now that does go right back to the spiritual power here. Remember, well, you've got major arcana, 3 major arcana cards, but really dominant in your calling, your vocation. So just remember, every moment you have a choice. And that choice is also indicated here in your career with that one of flames, Ace of Wands there. So, you know, you're expressing free will, celebrating simplicity, asking for angelic support. Your angels respond when you're open and authentic about how you feel. You're more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain, and your choices determine how brightly you shine. This feels like a career change. This does, particularly if you don't want to teach anymore. You don't want to deal in the world anymore. You'd prefer to ignore what's going on in the world. I get it. That's why I work from home. That's why I'm moving my home. I outgrew my home, so that's going to change my career too. You know, it's just how it goes. I hope we get this. God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. We have to send the inspectors in, don't we? Yeah. Alright, last card down. The Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Brilliant. Angela Hartfield also does the Whispers of Love that I use for a lot of my readings here. Lord Ganesh, or Lord Ganesha as you prefer, is the elephant-headed Hindu god of success and prosperity and wealth. He's just lovely. But in the West, mostly known as the remover of obstacles, and I feel like that is very much the focus of Angela Hartfield's work here in this lovely oracle deck. It's such an honor to work with Ganesh, particularly in this way. I mean, I have a relationship with him outside of my work, career, vocation, but it's nice to bring him into my art. Lovely. Please take a nice deep breath. That's my mom in the background. She's either talking on the phone to the cats or to the dog or to my stepfather. I can't tell which. Please take a nice deep breath. Last card down. As I call to my beloved Lord Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Your love, your compassion is literally legendary, mythological, as well as completely, magnificently divine. Please, one card in clarity for my beloved Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this work, career, vocation reading. Please, what is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power? Did they forget I was out here? I think they forgot I was out here. Your love, your love, your power, your wisdom, your guidance, your grace for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, helping them remove the obstacles so they can manifest that shift from lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fulfilling their sacred contracts in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Protection. Protection. Look, I mean, these cards are gorgeous. Protection. Card number 20. Let's see what Ganesh has for you. You know, I'm going to be 54 years old on Tuesday at the time of this recording, just like the studio. It's just so funny when you're the youngest in the family. It doesn't matter. You could be 10,000 years old. You're still the youngest in the family. Okay. Protection. Protect your energy as you lift your vibration and frequency. Oh my God, that's totally that Four of Pentacles. And you can totally ask the angels, right? To be like, oh my God, I just want to burn down the village. I don't want to burn down the village, but I totally want to burn down the village, right? Protect your energy as you lift your vibration and frequency. As you continue on your spiritual path, you begin to lift in vibration and frequency, and you continue to experience new levels of love and light. Your energy body undergoes an essential transformation. These changes in the energy body require that past pain and limiting views of self be released. When this happens and the pain comes to the forefront, it's called a subtle reminder to my family that I'm out here, of your experience, it can definitely feel like you're taking quite a battering. Seriously. Seriously. Ask Ganesha to surround you with his beautiful energy at this time. You may envision this energy as red, yellow, or white in color. That's specific. Or in any color that resonates with you. Everybody's got to say that. Imagine this energy is filled with love and light. It is said that Ganesha oversees the angels of protection, asking for angelic support. Ganesha's light energy serves to release any negativity within its field into light. Alchemy, essentially. Visualize negative energy, entities, memories, or stuck energy being released from your spirit, mind, and body. When previous pain shows up, it may not be a clear-cut memory of a particular past event or feeling of fear. Past experiences may be reflected in your current challenges and lessons. That's called a redo. And it's not because you got it wrong. You're just getting another opportunity. Gary Zukov, Seed of the Soul? Seed of the Soul? He called it the compassionate response of the universe, that you don't move on until you learn the lesson, until you complete that level. Just like a video game, really. Is that the Seed of the Soul? I think that's... Comment if I'm right. If it's Gary Zukov's Seed of the Soul. Love him. It appears in a form that will trigger you now, bringing up resistance and distraction to be dealt with immediately. Keep in mind to respond with love. You are assured that you will continue to grow and evolve through this challenge. Ganesha will assist you in protecting your energy for the best possible results. Well, I gotta say, all of this is your choice. Certainly, calling in Lord Ganesh, you could tell a better story. You could say, yeah, I am on a journey. I am bringing my life purpose into more fulfillment, more completion. But as I'm going, I need things to be simpler, celebrating simplicity, and I need the support and the protection so that as things are revealed, I am able to respond with love. I'm telling you, it feels like whatever this is you want to teach, or you are teaching by example here, that you can do it very simply, but I will also say the choices that you make about dealing with what it said right in this card of protection, that you might be getting a battering, might already be going on, so to speak, right? The world is harsh right now, but, you know, survival of the fittest, but survival of the spiritual fittest here, it seems like. You have the capacity to really teach by example here. But again, be careful of the stories you tell yourself. There's so many stories flying around on the planet right now. As much as I want to buy this house, I've been telling people, look, the Putin factor is still on the table, right? I mean, at the time of this recording, there's like, you know, a war going on around a nuclear power plant. We could all be done very soon. But that's not the story I want to focus on. I can acknowledge it, but that doesn't mean I gotta feed it. No. That certainly you can call upon the protection that you need from Lord Ganesh. And don't you want an elephant on your side for this? I think you do. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do a bless summation. It's a combination of a blessing and a summation of what's on the table here. And then we'll chat a little bit at the end. I'll release the Aquarian Collective by letting the goofy out, but we'll see what happens. You never really know on Drawing the Circle Productions YouTube channel. Please take a nice deep breath. Still clean. I feel so good as I call upon my collective pantheons of the divine, the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Aquarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation. May they be blessed with what they need in their vocation, that they can embrace their ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols with great courage on the inside, understanding that on the outside there is a divine plan in play, there is a divine timing thing. They haven't done anything wrong. Things are just unfolding, and that's much easier to see when they express their free will, understanding that their choices determine how brightly they shine. And in their career, that they have that ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom, and perhaps in a brand new way for them, in a choice that they make to take this internal fire and communicate it as cardinal fire, the King of Wands, out into the world. Or maybe they are dealing with another teacher to help them do just that, so that they can celebrate simplicity, because they're more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. This could totally be somebody moving, shifting careers. It feels like that's their leverage point. And now they've got the sprinkler, so I think they forgot I'm out here. And so that in their work with the Samaritan, that they can refine their capacity to help those they would prefer to ignore, with that internal sense of stability. Four of Pentacles on the inner, but that can also mean perhaps a boundary around their heart emotionally, which is completely understandable in this day and time, while there is a judgment moment going on in their outside world, right? Outside looking in, inside looking out. Something is being revealed and a final decision is being made. But they can ask for angelic support to get them through this, because their angels respond when they are open and authentic about how they feel, which means they don't have to tell everybody. They just need to tell it to their higher powers, angels, schmangels, whoever they want to call upon in their spiritual power, so that they can really acknowledge the protection that's there, and certainly ask for the protection of Lord Ganesh, that their vibration is raising and it's changing everything. And maybe that is that Ace of Wands, that one of flames inside of them, exciting them, ready to go out and teach and maybe work with other teachers. And may they be blessed with all the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power they need to rise above it all, to see things from the stratosphere, as Aquarians often do, the larger picture, so they may heal, grow, learn, teach, and become the best that they can be, fulfilling their soul contracts and their role in the divine plan for the well-being of all. and with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. That made sense. I liked that reading. Did you like that reading? Prove it. Hit the thumbs up. Help the other Aquarians find it. I'm not monetized anymore. It's not making me money if you hit the thumbs up. It just helps other people find it. At this point, for joining the Circle production, a thumbs up on YouTube is a global service. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, by all means, hit the subscription button. Subscribe. I'm not stopping anytime soon. My good God, I'm buying a house and I'm still going to be putting out at least one video a day. In fact, this one won't hit until 2 days from now, because that's how I roll as a Virgo. And if you want the deeper experience, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Malcolm, Patreon on Patreon, will ya? Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, adding mystics sooner or later. Hopefully sooner we'll get there as my life changes and as the world turns. Loving it over there, and if you are a creative type, please consider it for yourself. It's a wonderful way to find the support so you can keep moving forward with not having to worry so much about analytics and numbers and what everybody else thinks, because you know y'all are the freaks of the zodiac. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link in the description box of a video I did last year called Booking a Reading with Mal. I will eventually make another one, but maybe from the new house I will. Explains it all for you, how to book me, beginning, middle, and end, how I roll, how I work, and yeah, really does explain it all for you. Just like Clarissa, because I was raised on Nickelodeon for a certain point of my life. And certainly wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed. Reach out, get the help that you need. We all need a little help, a little support, at least to the angels you can start with. But honestly, I love my Aquarians. I have an Aquarian friend of mine watching my cats while I'm away. And I've always had a good Aquarian friend along the way, so hang in there. Fulfill what you came here to do in this life, and maybe you won't have to come back and do it again. That's my goal. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of it all, my beloved fixed airs, my aqua lungs, my aquariums. I love you. Now, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.